you doing, guys? This is BG Dino, and I am the Terradome Soldier. Today's movie review and show is going to be on Mortal Kombat Part 2. Let's watch this trailer, and we're going to have a discussion / review. Alright, guys, let's go. And good seeing you guys.
You want to know what makes a hero? It's not destiny. It's not something you're born with. It's searching for greatness.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen for Mortal Kombat.
Then realizing you've had it in you this entire time. Whoa! I really don't feel comfortable hitting a girl.
Don't worry. You won't.
Yo! Send me back. I want to go back.
The rules of the tournament are simple. Our fates would not be settled by the size of our armies. It would be decided by combat.
I'm not some great warrior. I'm not some champion.
This is a war for the fate of your world.
Finish him! Me.
Earth belongs to me.
We do not kneel!
Our only chance is to face this together. Let's go, baby. You, Johnny Cage, are a part of this now. It's showtime.
Get over here!
Johnny will definitely die.
Mortal Kombat 2 runs an hour and 56 minutes. With that being said, let's get started. It pretty much follows the same storyline as Part 1, pretty much where Shao Kahn, he was trying to destroy all the fighters so they won't get a chance to fight in the ultimate Mortal Kombat battle for
Why you gotta cheat?
the Earth realm. So you remember, it's the Outworld and it's the Earth realm. And you remember that from anybody that played a video game, you know exactly what I mean. Shao Kahn is from the Outworld, and all the rest of the people that's normal, human beings, they are from the Earth realm. Of course, self-explanatory. But, you know, I'm just explaining because a lot of some people that don't know. My challenge for everybody, not just the experts from Mortal Kombat. Okay, guys. Anyway, it begins where you see Shao Kahn. He's actually about to fight someone that was actually one of the people that could have been chosen to be in the battle. This wasn't the last battle right here. This was just somebody he just randomly picked that he thought that could be a threat possibly. And just so happened it happens to be Tana's father, but he had a no-name. He was a no-name character. He wasn't never on the game. So you already knew off the bat he was about to get eliminated. And you already knew the storyline. Shao Kahn pretty much killed Katana's father and then said, "I'm your father now." That's pretty much based off the video game. They showed Sindel before she became the evil Sindel, or I guess more zombie-like, the monster-like Sindel because of Shao Kahn. If you guys not a Mortal Kombat fan, please stay on. You know, I'm trying to explain it to you. For the guys that are Mortal Kombat fans, please have a little bit of patience. I'm trying to explain certain things. You know, Sindel is actually Katana's mother. Katana, they call her Princess Katana because her father was the king, and Shao Kahn killed the king, which was a no-name character. He's now in the video game, so you gotta expect him to die. You know, when I first seen him, I said, this dude's history.
Real dead meat.
So, like I said, this movie pretty much this movie, no, before me going step by step, this movie is a fan favorite movie. If you're a fan of Mortal Kombat the game, you're gonna love it. You know, the storyline is pretty much a basic video game storyline. You know, you can't expect to have a big, huge storyline off a basic video game. It was pretty simple. The game was just about fighting and doing finishing moves. And that's exactly what this movie delivered. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, it's a lot of characters that may be your favorite. That's going to get eliminated. I'm not going to tell you exactly who, even though this is a spoiler review, but I still don't want to do that. But I'm going to tell you this right now. No character is safe. Some of your favorites and some of your non-favorites are going to be eliminated in this movie. You know, it lines up just like the video game. It has 5 stars on each side, red and 5 blue. Whoever eliminates the most players, most fighters, well I call them players because it's like the video game, most fighters wins the round. The Outworld, which is where Shao Kahn, where he owns, all he needs is one more win. You have to have 10 wins in a row when you get to take over. So pretty much if Earth wins, Earth has to win 10 in a row. It starts over every time the other team wins. Pretty much. This is why it's been going on forever, because nobody can ever get that consistent team. With that being said, a lot of characters that died on part 1 came back. For one, Kung Lao. Kung Lao came back. He's come back from what's called the Shadow Realm, pretty much when they did. And they can come back, but they not necessarily themselves, or they maybe brainwashed or something. Pretty much after that, then it's a time jump, and this is where you see on the trailer where they're trying to recruit Johnny Cage because of the shortage of fighters they got. So they started off with the fact that you can have only 5 fighters, but somewhere during the course of the movie, it changed. You know, I'm gonna say this right now: Johnny Cage, Kano, and Baraka. To me, they stole the movie. You know, all I want to tell you every step by step. Like I said, the movie, it goes pretty much stripped to the video game, with no exception. It pretty much do. You know, like I said, a lot of your favorite characters that you like, a lot of your favorite characters may get killed, may not. I'm not gonna tell you who got killed, but I'm just pretty much giving you a basic review of what's going on in sport. The movie was pretty good. You know, it was tons and tons of fight scenes. Tons of first fight that he had was Kung Lao and Liu Kang, I'm sorry. And they pretty much battled out. You know, you get to see Liu Kang do his little dragon thing, and Kung Lao, he uses his hat. Even though he died on part 1, he came back from the Shadow Realm, because you know pretty much when they die, they go to the Shadow Realm, and that's where he came back from. And also, it's a scene where they bring Kano back. So all this is happening around the same time. So they bring Johnny Cage in. He say no, and I'm not here for that. You saw the trailer. I ain't got to go over that again, do it? You guys seen it. Also, part 2, they changed the plot from part 1. Part 1, you remember, you had to have the dragon symbol on you in order to participate in this fight. I guess they realized that they kind of messed up. They kind of limited who they could put as a fighter if they did that. Because you remember Sonya, she didn't have one. She got it after she so-called killed Kano. But they brought Kano back, which means he would have got his thing back. So they completely eliminated that. They're like, we don't supposed to remember that. Like, we don't.
I ain't got a good brain.
Oh yes, I remember. And also, something else they did in this movie I didn't really appreciate. It's like they tried to find a way to squeeze Scorpion and supposed to be Sub-Zero. You remember Sub-Zero died on part 1. They called themselves bringing Sub-Zero back, but when Sub-Zero came back, he didn't come back as himself. This is a way they introduced a new character, New Savage. You know, that was the character name that they turned Sub-Zero into. I think they could have brought New Savage in a different kind of way, just like they brought in Reptile last on part 1. They made Reptile more like a reptile instead of part of one of these little clans. See, all of them are from the clans like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Noob, Savage, Rain. I'm getting into geek territory, of course. But the movie did bring him in. They brought him in. I don't like the fact that they turned Sub-Zero into him. Sub-Zero is supposed to be his own character. And New Savage is supposed to be his own character. I didn't like that. So that right there took some points away from me, period. Of course, the movie was about like I said, they had to fight, and like I told you before, the fight scenes are very graphic. It's just like the video game. You're gonna get finishing moves. Sometimes you might get a fight where they fight and the other person don't do anything. But I will tell you something. I'm gonna get a little deep into the details of the story about Barack. Barack, he was actually, like I said, it surprised me. I didn't think he was gonna be a good character, a good funny character. So you see it in the trailer where him and Johnny Cage was ready to fight. So the reason why Johnny Cage and Barack was ready to fight is because they was trying to get into the castle of Shah Rukh Khan, and Shah Rukh Khan, he uses Barack and all his people to play the game, and you beat the game with Barack before. You know that it's more than just him. He has a whole tribe of him. There's a whole bunch of them look just like him. He just happened to be the king of them. So anyway, Shah Rukh Khan, he uses him and his people pretty much like watchguards or something to get in his castle. You know, they don't really bother anyone, but they can be mean, and they'll eat anything. They eat humans or anything. They don't care. So they wanted to get through, and Barack, he didn't want to fight Liu Kang, and so Johnny Cage started talking trash to him, like you see in the trailer, and he told him, you starting to annoy me, and he was like, well, yeah, I'll fight. And they thought he was going to fight Liu Kang, but he wanted to fight Johnny Cage. This is before Johnny Cage, you know, this is like really the second fight that he had, because he got beat by Katana the first time when he fought. Like I said, they had a lot of fights. I didn't want to go back every fight by fight. You know, it'd have been all day for this. Anyway, like I said, so him and Barack, they fighting, and the thing was, once Johnny Cage realized his little strength that he do, pretty much, you know, the scene where he go under the thing and punch up like that. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you know what I'm talking about. He does a split and he punched people in the balls. So he did a split and he punched Barack in the balls, and he's like, oh, and he said, you a good fighter, so I respect him. So pretty much the way that tribe is, if you're a good fighter, they respect you and they'll worship you. So Barack, he started, Baraka, I'll call him Barack, but Baraka, that's his name. But Barack just for sure. Baraka, he said, well, you're a good fighter, and you're my master, I want to be like you. So Johnny Cage, you know, he was a movie star, so he was like, yeah, I am. And it was just like, it was a real funny scene. They had a bunch of wisecracks with each other, you know, and eventually Baraka, he actually helped them get into the castle. He became a good guy. They showed his little tribe and stuff like that. You know, it gets into the meat of the movie where we go down to the final battles. We have Katana and Jade. Jade is in the movie also. Jade is like Katana's right-hand person. She's more like, I guess she's more like her trainer. Shah Rukh Khan assigned her to be her trainer and my best friend or whatever, even though he wasn't really her father. But Katana, she always knew that he wasn't her father, so she was always working with Raiden all together. That's a lot of little surprising things. Remember what I said, nobody is safe in this movie. I'm not going to tell you who got killed. Nobody is safe in this movie. Anybody in this Mortal Kombat world could get killed. But you know they can always come back too because of the shadow realm. So don't take that too hard. You know, I saw some people getting upset in the movie theater because certain people got killed. I'm like, they obviously don't watch the game. They never played the game, so they probably didn't. But they forget you can always come back. And at the end, that's actually what they did. So anyway, like I said, Katana, she fought Shah Rukh Khan, her and Jade. They eventually defeated him. Kano, like I said, Kano, Barack, and Baraka and Johnny Cage stole the movie. Kano is funny. He's funny like he was on part 1. If they made a spin-off movie with just Johnny Cage, Baraka, and Kano, that movie would be hilarious. I'm telling you, if they just did it, it would be hilarious. On the Kano saga, pretty much Kano was brought back to life, and Kano, he actually betrayed Shah Rukh Khan. He decided that he wanted to be on the Earth side again because he hated the outworld. He said it's boring. He said there's nothing to do there. He said he can't even get a beer there. He said a lot of adult things that he can't do there. And he'd rather, if anything, he'd rather stay with Earth and just tough it out or whatever. So he ended up becoming an asset pretty much to the Earth realm. Remember, it's the outworld, Earth realm. Then he got the Shadow World, which is pretty much their version of being dead or whatever. So personally, I think the movie missed out on a lot of opportunities that it had. For instance, on part 1, they killed Milena. Milena was supposed to be Katana's clone that Cheryl Khan had made. And she's supposed to be close for her, like her twin or something, like how Jade was. And it would have been a lot more better if they had Katana go against her clone, which was Melina, you know, than to go against Jade for a while, then Jade becoming her friend. I think they had a lot of missed opportunities they did. I don't like the fact that they turned Sub-Zero into Noob Sabbath when Sub-Zero was his own character. They kept Scorpion the way he was, but it's like really pretty much, it was like the storyline was already moving without them squeezing in Scorpion or Sub-Zero / Noob Sabbath. You know, I don't feel like that they had to do it. So my immediate reaction is,
Okay.
and my rating is going to be a 2.7 Pterodon Soldiers out of 5.5 Pterodon Soldiers. 2.7 Pterodon Soldiers out of 5.5. I thought the movie was pretty entertaining for what it's worth. Is this a date night movie? No, it's not a date night movie, but it's a group night movie. So if it's a group of you all that like Mortal Kombat, you know, go together. It's a group date night movie, put it like that. I think it's more like a group date night movie. If you got a bunch of friends that like Mortal Kombat, you guys will enjoy it. Because like I said, if you don't really dig too deep into, like I did with the review of me saying why they make Sub-Zero, Noob Sabbath, and just take it for what it is, and also the fact that they killed off some of the characters on part 1 that they never brought back, that they really needed to bring back because of the storyline that they're going with. But, you know, like I said, if you don't dig into all that and just watch it as a casual fan that just want to see some finishing moves, and I wish they would have did baby talents. You know how they do in the game, where they could turn one of them into a baby that was like the punishment. Or actually the one, I don't want to see them do friendship, but they could have did it too. If you guys Mortal Kombat fans, you know what I mean. But they did a lot of fatalities. You know, they did. And I would say, like I said, you know, it's probably good for like a group of friends, a group of people, guys or females, a group that like Mortal Kombat. You guys will enjoy it. You guys will get some laughs from it, because like I said, Kano is hilarious in it. Johnny Cage is hilarious, and even the Baraka, he's actually hilarious. So with that being said, thank you guys for all the support. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for checking out this review. Thank you guys for supporting me so much. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I love you guys. Thank you. Shout out to the Dante Show Network. Shout out to June 5th. Shout out to Miss Jersey. Subscribe to her channel. It's Forensic8888. Check out my buddy Be Humble with Be Humble's podcast. Be Humble is an ex-military guy. He's a veteran. You can find all these guys on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. These guys are all from the Pterodon family. You know, that's my YouTube family. So thank you guys. Please show these guys some support as well as you show me. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. This is BG Dino, the Pterodon Soldier. Salute. And I'll see you guys on the next review, which will be the movie Obsession. I may do a couple more trailers within that time, so just stay tuned. I have plenty of content coming out. Thank you guys for all the support once again. Please be safe. Thank you guys, and I'll see you soon. Later. BG Dino. Bye.